Happy Peeps, healthy chat, it's Peepschat. Assalamualaikum, good evening, and happy 11/11. Do you guys buy anything from today's sale? Because I did. I bought a new wireless mouse because mine is already broken. I'm such a hardworking student, right? But before I talk more about the sale, I am Arisha, and welcome to the third episode of this series. You guys probably noticed that Nikki, my partner, is not here. She cannot make it due to personal reasons. But it's okay. I have two guests here with me today to keep me company. Alright, so for the third episode of Peeps Chat, the topic will be autism. Different, not less. Joining with us tonight to discuss more about the topic, we have Mr. Khairul here. How are you?
Hi, Assalamualaikum. I'm good, Alhamdulillah.
Salam.
Just had my dinner and I'm full and I'm ready to go.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, and our next special guest is Mr. Adli. How are you, Mr. Adli?
Alhamdulillah, I'm doing fine. Hope you two are doing fine then.
Alhamdulillah, thank you for
Alhamdulillah.
asking for the praying. Alhamdulillah, I'm doing great also. Okay, so
Yeah.
if you do not mind, could you please introduce yourself? All right, so let's start with Mr. Khairul first.
Okay. My name is Khairul Abdullah. I'm a single father. I'm a single parent, raising three kids, age 7, 5, and 3 years old. It's been 3 years now. It's hard, it's tough, but so far so good. Um, and my first kid is autistic. This is we will be talking tonight. And I'm working as a writer. I believe so. I believe I'm a writer because every day I write. I write many things. So I've been living in Shah Alam for quite some time, and yeah, I think that's it.
All right. Okay, now Mr. Ali, could you introduce yourself?
Well, my name is Adli. I'm 57. I have 6 kids. My eldest is 24 years old, and my second is my son, Mohd, and he's autistic. Um, well, we have been trying to get him to be independent, and the journey was really tough, but in the end, we saw the light, and now we are in a much better place now, I would say so.
Alhamdulillah. Anyway, it's Mr. Ali's birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. Ali.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Alright. Okay, before we start, I just want to remind the viewers out there that if you have any questions to ask the guests, feel free to drop the questions in the chat box. If we have ample time, inshallah, we will help them to answer your questions. With no delay, let's dive into our question, shall we? Okay, this
Yeah.
question is for Mr. Ali and Mr. Khairul. So, can you share with us since when your child has autism? Like, what are the signs that your child showed, and yeah, and what is like the sign and how the behavior, something like that. So let's start with maybe Mr. Ali first. I think Mr. Ali is lagging low, so let's start with Mr. Khairul first.
Okay. Since when? Actually, I noticed some difference. Not say different because Khalif is the first kid. So when I observe, I realized that he he do some things that I think is not supposed to do, like the hand movement, sort of, which is he always do this kind of hand movement, and then all those head movement. He very sensitive to sound,
Oh,
so I have
just
to I have to buy all those this ear muff to
oh,
keep him calm. And I realized that he has this ability to remember things. So at that point, I don't really know. I don't really understand. I don't really really know what is autism, autistic thing. But after when he was about 3 years old, so all those characteristic is very very obvious. So I start doing research. I start doing research why my kids have this kind of a hand movement, what you call it, all those fingers thing, and then so I stumble upon this is the word autism, autistic. So I do the readings and everything, and then suddenly his mother passed away in 2018. So things getting worse. Things getting worse. He stopped. He not stop talking, but he start to reserve a lot of things. Less talk. Then more times by himself and everything. Then I bring him to the psychiatrist, and then he'd not been diagnosed, but because at that time because his mom passed, so the psychiatrist said maybe the effect of his mom passing.
I
So
see.
we've been back and forth to the hospital for 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
and after many
Oh,
session, after many tests here and there, and then at 6 years old he
it
is
was,
diagnosed.
he was
As
diagnosed with autism.
Yeah,
I see.
yeah. ASD, autism spectrum disorder. Yeah.
I see. Alright. So what? So before we ask like more questions, why don't we take a break and breather? We'll be back with both Mr. Ali and Mr. Khairul with topic autism, different, not less, only on Peepschat by IIUM TV. We will be back. Stay tuned, guys, and inshallah.
You have one unheard message.
Hi Lily, um, aku just nak tanya, kau okay? Sebab aku perasan kau dah banyak kali tak masuk kelas. Kau pun tak angkat bila aku call. Bila aku message, kau tak jawab. So kau free tak? Jom binge watching K-drama nak? Cerita Vincenzo. Kau kan suka Song Joong Ki tu. Lepas tu kita boleh sembang-sembang sambil minum kopi. Tapi kalau kau busy tak apa, aku faham. Really, aku nak kau tahu yang aku selalu ada dengan kau. Kau lah kawan dunia akhirat yang paling aku sayang. Anyway, nanti kalau nak tengok drama tu, bagi tahu kat aku, okay?
You have one unheard message.
Hi Lily, aku just nak tanya, kau okay? Sebab aku perasan kau dah banyak kali tak masuk kelas. Kau pun tak angkat bila aku call. Bila aku message, kau tak jawab. So kau free tak? Jom binge watching K-drama nak? Cerita Vincenzo. Kau kan suka Song Joong Ki tu. Lepas tu kita boleh sembang-sembang sambil minum kopi. Tapi kalau kau busy tak apa, aku faham. Really, aku nak kau tahu yang aku selalu ada dengan kau. Kau lah kawan dunia akhirat yang paling aku sayang. Anyway, nanti kalau nak tengok drama tu, bagi tahu kat aku, okay? Happy Tips, Healthy Chat. Welcome back to the third episode of Peepschat Show. We are currently having two special guests tonight, Mr. Adli and Mr. Khairul, to talk about autism, different, not less. Alright, so let's ask Mr. Ali, because just now he having like the having problems, so having internet problems. So Mr. Ali, Could you share with us, like,
Yes.
since when your child has the autism, like been diagnosed with autism, and what are the signs that the child showed?
Well, just to keep you in proper perspective, yeah, this happened 22 years ago, so the scenario is far different from where we are now, So 22 years ago, 23 years ago, we don't have any internet facilities. So can you imagine we were grappling with this kind of question in our head? What is it, So what happened was he had when he reached the age of about one year and a half, I think, to 2 years, we saw strange behavior. We knew there's something wrong, but we don't know what it is that we're dealing with, And, we're talking about issues like Down syndrome or people with eyesight issues. Physically, you can see, but this happens to a perfectly physically normal person, like my son Lukman. So, so what happened is, as I said, between age of 1.5 to 2 years, he's sort of displayed as a strange behavior. Like when he arrived at our place, he will put his slippers or his shoes neatly in pairs. So that's kind of wonderful as well as strange. Which kid that do that? I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the kid will throw the slippers or the shoes off, staggering
Kids at that
everywhere,
age.
But
Yeah.
he was not that. And when he played something with his toys,
Mm-hmm.
it's always in the lines, It doesn't matter whether it's straight line, but or not, whether it's zigzag or curvy, it's in the line. So it's in the line format. So we thought it's very strange, And he was jumping on the spot for hours. He was running in circle for hours, And one thing that we noticed earlier was his crawling part of the growth. You have to do crawling, and before you stand up, you have to crawl. And he missed that part. He went straight up to walking and start running fast.
It's much of a,
So
yeah.
it's kind of strange. It's kind of proud, but as well as strange, So as I said,
Yeah.
we're dealing with something an alien to us. 23 years ago was nothing like today, But yeah, after we got it diagnosed, and I think I knew he's having autism. I think a year after that, I think when the internet came in, there was a first internet provider called Jarring. So that was the first internet provider. That's where I stumbled the word of autism in the internet, and I knew he's
Oh,
having that basically.
then he is being diagnosed with the autism, right, Mr. Ali?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
see. Okay, so it says that the autism shows a sign of like hating the noise,
yeah,
showing like organized things. So,
yeah.
Mr.
Very
Khairul,
organized.
oh, I see. So, as a as a parents, how do you involve yourselves in their daily life? Like, how do you communicate with them? Is there anything that you do to like communicate with Khalif?
Um, he have only me, so I'm the only one he can communicate. I have to communicate with. Do have mothers, and all this other is grandma, whatever is far away. We are the only person. I'm the only person that of course I'm the one that he communicate to. But 2 years after immediately after his mom passed, um, he doesn't talk much. He doesn't. He just
It's
be by
been
himself.
reserved.
Yeah, and everything. But I no, I have to crack. No, no, we been to the psychiatrist to crack what is in his mind at that time. It's very difficult after 2 years, and then just one day he just stopped. I miss my mom, and he start bursting away. But at that time, when he diagnosed, then I know because no, we went to psychiatrist, and then no,
Mm-hmm.
she told me this how to deal with them. No, if he not been diagnosed, of course I don't know. I will treat him just like other kids, just my other two other kids. But now we talk. Even sometimes I don't know. He always on his own world or something, you know. He don't have eye contact and he don't really talk, but he listen, you know. So me as a parent, the only parent that, yeah, of course I have to involve everything in his life, because my son Khalif is a high functioning. High functioning means
Functional.
yeah, high functioning. When people look at him, just like a normal kids, just like a normal kid. If people first time meeting him, people will not know that he's autistic. But only people who've been living with him, his teacher,
Mm-hmm.
his matuk at the kampung, who always come once a while, no, staying in. Then these people will see
You
the
know.
difference.
I see.
So yeah, so we have to we have to know when he's having tantrum, when he's having a meltdown. Now have to differentiate these two
Oh.
things, So and then of course then you can handle him.
Meaning that
But
meaning
if to
that we
answer the
have to
question, yes,
like
I'm involved. Sorry.
I see. So meaning that we have to take note of their behavior that day, if they are doing okay, if they
Yes.
are having like
Yes.
their meltdown, the tantrum, is it?
Yeah. Yeah. I
So
have to
we have
learn
to
in the
give
first
more
place because
attention.
yeah, I have a list to
Oh,
check. Oh, this is a meltdown, this is tantrum, and everything. But now I really understand him already.
I see. So Mr. Ali, I have one question to you
Yes.
that
Yes.
aside from we have to really focus on their behavior meltdown, what do you think like are the most important basic skills to teach autistic child to improve their life and why do you say so?
So I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry, I will repeat. What do you think the most important basic skills to teach autistic child to improve their life and why do you say so?
Oh, I am focusing. I mean, I'm referring the case to my son. Like, I'm not a doctor as well as a specialist, but to
Mm-hmm.
me, for my son, I need him to live his life to his best ability. I can't I can't put that in a similar situation as other kids. But from my perspective, my son has to live his life to the fullest of his ability. So what I did with Lukman is we tried everything. We tried to enroll him to school, academics, painting, music, we tried everything. But he wouldn't fit in. He couldn't. And instead of focusing on academic matters, I am fully focusing on his living skills. So that from living skill, he'll be able to live his life to the fullest. For instance, getting him to be able to ride a train on his own, ride an LRT on his own, able to walk to the cafe, able to cook, able to wash the dishes, able to take care of himself. Those are the basic things that I taught Lukman. And I look at this from this perspective. Um, Education is not about academic alone. Living skill is an education for Lukman. So I see that matter and seriously, and I started enroll him in a school which I created called Autism Cafe Project. So that's where his school is. He fits in nicely in that school, rather than in typical school he doesn't fit in. So to me, academic is important, yes, but it's more important for Lukman is his living skills. That is that is the most
That's so true.
important part, is crucial part in his life, so he can carry on when I'm not around, he still can carry on with his life. Yeah.
I see. So it's very important for them to be independent. So that's what you, Mr. Ali is teaching. You
Yes.
give him
Yes, I am.
freedom. So I have a question to Mr. Lee, and the question, I'm sorry. So a person with autism has no control over their meltdown. So how do you handle your child during their meltdown or tantrum, and how do you make yourself? But I think we are gonna continue this show after the commercial break. So after the question, so after the break, the question.
10% of children and adolescents have a clinically diagnosable mental problem, yet 70% of children and adolescents who experience mental health problems have not had appropriate interventions at a sufficiently early age. There are 424,000 children in Malaysia are dealing with mental health issues. Mental health always seems like an adult problem that we neglect our children also experience the same issues. Child mental health is equally important as their physical health and deserve the same quality of support. At the end of the day, the key to a child's success is the positive involvement of the parents. Sit down and listen to your kids. Reach out to them and offer hugs. Most importantly, be present, not just giving out presents. Mental health is health. Together, we help our children. 10% of children and adolescents have a clinically diagnosable mental problem, yet 70% of children and adolescents who experience mental health problems have not had appropriate interventions at a sufficiently early age. There are 424,000 children in Malaysia are dealing with mental health issues. Mental health always seems like an adult problem that we neglect our children also experience the same issues. Child mental health is equally important as their physical health and deserve the same quality of support. At the end of the day, the key to a child's success is the positive involvement of the parents. Sit down and listen to your kids. Reach out to them and offer hugs. Most importantly, be present, not just giving out presents. Mental health is health. Together, we help our children.
Happy Peeps, healthy chat. Welcome back to the third episode of Peepschat show. If you didn't know yet, we are discussing the topic autism, different, not less. The two guests, Mr. Ali and Mr. Khairul. Okay, so let's get back to the question I asked to guests before the break, which is a person with autism has no control over the meltdown. So how do you handle your child during their meltdown or tantrum in public or either home, and how to make yourself prepared? Is there any question? So let's start with Mr. Khairul first.
Okay. At, 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 at first, I don't really understand. I mean, this tantrum. I never heard the term meltdown or tantrum. So might have the wrong solution for it. Then after a while, I know this is most of my caliph behavior is not tantrum, it's meltdown. So if tantrum, he wants something, we give something and it'll stop. But when it melt down, he's the emotional. We cannot give him anything. So what I do is normally I rarely bring him out. It's not because I don't want him to be tantrum or what, but I have three small kids, to handle them in the public is very difficult. So but I did go out, and then I did always bring him alone to the hospital for therapies and everything. It happened. It happened. But at first, I don't know what to do. I just go and hug him and just crying. He just want to shout and then everything. But after that, I know the sign. Now, so I look for the sign because the pattern is the same. No, when when he start melting down, we know the process. So when I see him or when I caught him, he want to start, so I quickly cut the process. I go straight to him and I hug him, just rub his back, and then ask him, no, just it's okay now, I'm here. So he will cool down. But normally, if I don't see that, and suddenly I see him just shouting, and then or crying, or just jumping and shouting and then crying, and then he normally after that he start destroying things. He start destroying things, or everything in his path, and he'll throw, he will make it break, and everything. And then he will go to the next part. He will go somewhere quiet in the closet, under the bed and anything. He will sit down, and sometimes he just pee. He pee all over the house, because when he pee, and then he will stop. He will stop. I think it because it release him. So this is a thing that you know always happen.
Oh, that's the
So
process. That's the
yeah,
step.
the process, the step that of the process. So I know when it's going to
See
happen. So I'll stop
what
it.
to do. So you
Yeah.
already know what to do if that happens. If you can see the
Yes.
sign that he's
Yeah.
gonna
After 2 years, and I
melt
think
it down. I
I
see.
can manage it.
Okay, so how about you? How about you, Mr. Ali? What are your preparation whenever Lukman is having meltdown or a tantrum?
Well, Lukman is the opposite of what he said earlier. He doesn't have any tantrum. He's a very, very fine young man. He's very quiet and he's very obedient. In short, Lukman is kind of a passive person. He will follow instruction exactly as what you wish him to do. And
Mm-hmm.
if you ask him, for example, you ask him to keep quiet, he will keep quiet until you tell him to speak. So he doesn't have any tantrum nor meltdown in him. And he's a very fine young man. Except the challenge with him is because he's passive, um, it challenges your patience, basically. It really challenges your patience. In different manner, as Khairul mentioned, his son is more on the tantrums, aggressiveness and such, But Lukman doesn't have that. But he will test you. He will test your patience in his way, in his own way, and sometimes it goes to the limit.
Oh,
It's really a different manner as opposed to another meltdown or tantrum. It's really a different perspective. Patience meaning he will able to sit down for hours without moving. Now, it sometimes it gets to you. Why are you not moving? You're tired. Your tired body is aching. Why are you sitting in that manner for hours? Sometimes it gets to you. Sometimes it really gets to you. So, as I said, it's a different challenges here, in a manner that his is non responsive to his own body. But the other party, like Cairo, when the boy in frustration mode, he lets it out by having meltdown or tantrum. Likewise, but Lukman doesn't have that. It's a
oh,
different
he is
perspective.
being reserved. He is quiet. He's not telling anyone about it, and he
Yeah,
will
and
like
he has
stay
very good
still
poker
for
face.
hours. Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
Mm-mm.
So,
Interesting,
what
interesting.
like yeah, so I can see the difference between Khairul's sign and also Mr. Adli's sign.
Yeah,
Mashallah. So
totally different.
basically, I
Totally.
have
It's
so
totally
and
different.
also and the way that preparation made by Mr. Ali and Mr. Khairul is really different. For Khairul, he will go hug Khalif, while Mr. Ali just like ask question, right? Ask questions and be there for Lukman, right, Mr. Ali?
Yeah.
So, Mr. Ali, I have one more question. So I know that you
Yes.
open Autism Cafe project. Am I right?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
what?
Yes.
How you get the idea, or what motivates you to open the Autism Cafe, and what are the initial aims to it?
Okay. Basically, I think every parent's worried about their kids. You know, times that 1,000 to us, the parents with special need kids. Uh, the worrying part is, as I said, with Lukman, with his limited ability, with his um, strange behavior and stuff, my worry is he is unable, as I said, to lead his life to the fullest. I want him to feel life. I don't want him to wake up in the morning, having breakfast, watch TV, having lunch, and wait for dinner. That is not
Yes.
life. Yes, I want him to feel life as much as we are going through. So I thought of, if I would, one of the component in living life to the fullest to me is able to take care of yourself, able to earn a living on your own, able to make friends and all. So I must find a vehicle that fits him. I can't wait for someone to give him a particular job for him. I rest the fact that nobody will give him a job for him. Nobody. So I decided to do on our own, on my own. We set up this Autism Cafe project based on my observation of my son. He's as I said, he's not intelligent as compared to others. But he has a wonderful ability, which sometimes people tend to disregard it. My son loves water, so I
Water.
use that water element to create a
Mm-hmm.
full life for him. So
Oh,
at the cafe,
mashallah.
we created this cafe, and we give him task to wash the dishes, clean the plates, something to do with water and cleanliness because he can't stand messiness. So we created that, and we found that he's responded very well. He doesn't learn much in school, but at the cafe he learns a lot, and he met friends, and he met people who loves him, and he's able to function very well. As I can't wait for
Mashallah.
somebody to offer him job. I can't. And
So,
the worrying part is what's going to happen to him when I'm not around. So I got to
so,
prepare all this. So
mhm.
to me, a cafe is a vehicle to him to lead his life to the fullest.
So basically, the project, the Autism Cafe project, is like a long-term planning for Lukman. So
Yes,
you
yes,
want him
it
to
is.
be more independent, mashallah. That's so great.
Yes,
Like, you are helping your son, but at the same time, you're helping others autistic kids as well, I believe.
yes. We have so far managed to train a total of 42 boys with
Wow.
us since it started in 2017. Yeah.
I see. 42,
And,
mashallah. That's
yeah,
so
and
great.
few of them now holding a
Mm-hmm.
much higher post than they were before. Some of them are already an executive. The latest
Wow.
one, I think the latest boy that with being with us. He has left now. Now he's
Mm-hmm.
working in a in pastry company now. And one
So
of
it,
them are also working in a supermarket. I'm kind of glad that we made this
yeah.
project, and it's
So
turned
it
out
shows
wonderful individual.
that autism is different. They're a little bit different, but they're not less than we normal people, right? So I want
Yeah.
to ask Mr. Khairul one question. So you are a single dad with three kids, and one of them
Yep.
is autistic, Khalif. So in your experience, how did you juggle between work and also parenthood?
Well, no, I don't have any option. I don't have any option. I have to do do or die. I say so. I have three
Yep.
kids. And then so I just do. I have to juggle around. I have to, I have to sleep less, work more, wake up early and everything. And Khalif is not just autistic. He have ADHD too. Okay, so that's why he very very active. He need things in his hand. If he don't have anything in his hand, so he'll start picking around. So it's tough, but I think I always believe in life, in what's in our life. If we want to do it, if our niat, okay, our niat, okay, for the kids, for the family, I think Allah will help. So Alhamdulillah, for the past 3 years, I've been managing these 3 kids all by myself. Since the youngest is 7 months at that time when his mom passed, and then 7 months, 2 years, and Khalif at 4 years at that time. So of course it's very challenging, but I think I know which this is the time for the kids, or this time for me to work, this time for them to play. So when they're playing, they are full, they're playing, so I can do work. And then during PKP, most of the time we are at home, and then I have to juggle again. And then now I can send them to Tadika, Taska, and Khalif into a special school. Alhamdulillah, he can, because there's a teacher who really understand him, and then everything works well. I mean, it works fine. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Of course, it's tough, but it can be done. No problem.
Mhm. I think Mr. Khairul, you did a pretty good job, Alhamdulillah, and inshallah
Alhamdulillah.
Allah will help you with managing 3 kids, inshallah. So
Inshallah.
I think the time is envy of us, right? It's I have lots of questions to ask Mr. Khairul and also Mr. Ali, but the time is not giving us the opportunity for me to ask more questions. So before we end the show, do you have any last words for the viewers? Maybe to promote social medias, or Mr. Ali want to promote Autism TV project. This is the chance. All right, so let's start with Mr. Adli first.
Um, for me, I wish the public understand us, the parents, what we went through, and how concerned we are with our kids. I wish the public would understand our kids better. That's why we thought of we shouldn't stop any awareness campaign of autism. It should be ongoing. We should not stop, and I wish the public could create an opportunity for our kids to live their life to the fullest. They can't create the opportunity, but the public and us, we can create an opportunity for them. It's important for the public to know what is autism and how they can play their part in making their life much better than it's supposed to be.
So we are playing a bigger role as well, right, in spreading the awareness. All right, so Mr. Khairul, what is your last word to viewers out there?
Yeah, I think Masala is the same with Mr. Adli. We wish, as a parent, we wish public more have more empathy. When look parents with autistic kids, sometimes I believe sometimes people just they don't know, because they don't understand this autistic kid they have autistic. No, we don't wear shirts or label, oh, this kid is autistic. Sometimes when we see people in public, kids in public having tantrum or meltdown, and you just don't say, oh no, this kid should do it, or these parents cannot handle this kid whatsoever. It's not that. This is a autistic kid. They are different. It's not easy. I mean, to manage them. So we hope that people more aware, know, and then give these parents a chance to take care of the kids, and then please don't judge them. Please don't. So we need more talk like this. We need more program. We need more uh, campaign or anything about autism. So let public know and aware, how to help or how to react when I see a parent with autistic kid in public.
Yes, we should learn how to to express when we see any tantrum or meltdown, or we can maybe help the parents as well by removing the stigma and not being judgmental, but to
Yeah.
just let them do their part. I
Yes.
think that's the best thing we can do, isn't it?
Yeah. Exactly.
All right. So thank you so much to Mr. Khairul and Mr. Ali for being here with us in Peepschat show, and also sparing your precious time and discussing about autism. Like I've learned a lot of new knowledge from tonight. Like there are difference between autism kids, like Mr. Khairul's son is a bit different, while Mr. Ali's son is also different, them being themselves like that. So thank you to all viewers out there for tuning into tonight's episode of Peeps Chat. Before we end the show, do not forget to catch us live every Thursday at 9 p.m. on our IIUM and Facebook page. Last but not least, don't forget to follow IIUM TV on our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and LinkedIn. We will see you again next week with a new exciting topic with more amazing guests. Stay safe and stay happy. I'm Arisha, only on Happy Peeps Healthy Chat. It's Peeps Chat by IIUM TV. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good night, everyone.
Hello.